Hey everyone, my name is Mikey Millions, and I want to welcome you back to the Freeloader Challenge, where I've got my eyes set on buying a ghetto-adjacent crack house in Baltimore as a real estate investment. You may wonder, why would I want to own such garbage property? There's probably either a squatter or a dead body in there as soon as I show up. The truth is, I haven't figured out all the details myself yet. I just think that type of property is the only one I'm actually going to be able to afford using my freeloader methods. In any case, to get to such prestigious levels of real estate, I need to continue performing freeloader operations in order to harvest some free money. So far for the challenge, I'm at a little over $6,000. By the end of this episode, we'll be pretty close to that 1 year mark. I just want to emphasize that I basically maxed out a Roth IRA contribution with freeloaded money. Anyway, it's time to add to my stash and finish on a high note. In this episode, I'm going to show you how I collected one set of recon grade binoculars, multi-tool, and flashlight, $58 in Bitcoin, $110 in assorted shares of stock, one starter kit of streamer equipment including headset, webcam, and microphone, $943 of sports betting arbitrage earnings, $200 in Visa gift cards, $125 in Amazon gift cards, one vinyl player with Bluetooth capability, one nail gun, 4 iPhone chargers, $6 in shitcoins, a $20 bill, and a large soda. Excluding the cash value of the knickknacks, this totals up to about $1,636. This is a significant addition to my freeloader pile and puts me one major step closer to becoming a slumlord. If you yourself want to join the Freeloader Alliance, I invite you to join our free Discord, link in the description, where we conspire to get more free money daily. Scammers and spammers are decisively executed with extreme prejudice. Only real shit is allowed in our club. Now, let's explore this episode's Freeloader toolbox, starting with the promotion churning bucket. The first up is the investment broker Moomoo, which is also the sponsor of today's episode. Moomoo is currently running a promotion in which new users receive a bucket load of free shares, which of course I indulged. That's literally free money. The reward program is improving after November 15th to celebrate Moomoo's 10th anniversary, but when I deposited in October, I received 9 free shares worth about $110. I wish I had waited until after November 15th because Moomoo has since improved its program further. Now, people who deposit any amount, even 1 cent, will receive $10 of cash and a free share. Depositing $100 will give you 4 additional shares, and depositing $1,000 will give you 10 additional shares, so 15 total, plus an entry into a $50,000 and 10 $1,000 drawings. If I had known about these improved rewards, I would have waited, but I'm still happy with what I got. The only caveat is you must leave your money in Moomoo for 60 days before you can liquidate and withdraw your free shares. You don't actually have to invest the money, you can leave it as cash if you want to, but you must leave your money in the account. Once you're on Moomoo, you have the choice. You can continue either investing in the same US equities you're used to, or you can go long or short Chinese, Hong Kong, and Singapore stocks. If you want more access to these East Asian markets to either buy shares or buy puts, no broker out there is going to give you more access than Moomoo. And of course, the broker is commission free and it has paper trading available. If you are a freeloader but you haven't invested in the stock market yet, Moomoo is a great avenue to get your feet wet. You know where to find the link to claim your free shares. You must use the referral in order to get the whole reward. But make no mistake, this is indeed literally free money. For me, it was $110. For you, it's probably going to be a lot more because of that increased promotion. And somebody out there is going to get $50,000. Let's move on. I had to create a new bucket for this one. We're going to explore sports betting arbitrage in the gambling bucket. Now you might say, gambling? Nah, that doesn't sound like literally free money. Is freeloading dead? Am I going to have to get a real job like my mom says? Absolutely not. I don't like gambling. But with sports betting arbitrage, we can bet on opposite outcomes of a game on opposing sportsbooks, and no matter which way the game goes, we guarantee ourselves a profit. But we must pick the right pairs. Over the last 7 weeks, I collected about $943 of winnings. If you exclude the week I was in Disney World and didn't wager, that's about $157 a week. I'm still a novice at this, and I'm trying to get to the level of some other people on Discord like Leafy Greens, who's making easily $1,000 a month. I'm striving to get on that level. Most of the time, your guaranteed gain is going to be about 2% of what you wager, but every now and then you're going to find a lucky 11-12% gain, like what I had here with the Coyotes versus the Capitals. Finding arbitrage opportunities like this is almost impossible without some help. That's why a couple of weeks ago I made a video describing OddsJam. Since I already have that other video, I'm not going to dig too deep in how to arbitrage in this video, but if this sounds like something that's appealing to you, I encourage you to watch my other video, and I'll link it here. If you live in a state that allows sports betting, then you are making a huge mistake by not getting in on this. You are leaving money on the table. It is by far the most satisfying way to make risk-free money, and I intend to continue adding to my sports books so I can continue arbitraging with a larger bankroll. Let's bounce back over to the promotion churning bucket, where I earned some Bitcoin through a service called FreeCash. Most of you are going to be familiar with FreeCash already because I've talked about it before. This is basically a website that pays you in either gift cards, PayPal, or cryptocurrency to play games or download apps that advertisers want to promote. It's very similar to Swagbucks or Inbox Dollars. Now, I'm not going to lie, I fell off the wagon a little bit with FreeCash because my iPhone is out of storage and I wasn't able to download as many apps as I would like to, and that's what knocked my earnings back down to only $58. I downloaded the sports betting app FanDuel because I needed it anyway for sports betting arbitrage, and for doing so, I received $34. I earned the other $24 playing a couple of games, including Vikings Clash of Clans. Although I could have taken my earnings in cash via PayPal, I didn't want to pay the PayPal fee. So instead, I took my earnings in Bitcoin. That ended up being a mistake because Bitcoin has since dropped in value, but we gotta take what we can get. Although I've been lax on FreeCash lately, I'm getting roped back in by their $500,000 World Cup tournament without having to pay any entry fee. Users like myself can bet on the outcome of World Cup games. When you predict correctly, you get points on a leaderboard where you get paid out in Litecoin to a website called Stake. You can withdraw your Litecoin from Stake to your own wallet without any playthrough requirement, according to FreeCash. The only caveat is that you have to complete KYC just as you would with any other cryptocurrency website. If your country does require that you play through a certain amount before you can withdraw, just play dice with the minimum stake on autoplay until you can withdraw. I am absolutely going to participate in the free-to-enter World Cup Fantasy Tournament. I don't really know anything about soccer, but maybe I'll get lucky. I don't actually plan on gambling any of the winnings on stake, I'm just going to withdraw it. If FreeCash sounds like your jam, then use my referral in the description and it'll start you off with a bonus box worth up to $250. Now let's do a fun one. Let's talk about where I got all that recon gear and stuff. Let's move over to the secret shopper bucket. Amazon sellers are extremely competitive with each other, and they'll do just about anything to boost their sales and get to the front page for certain keywords, including fully reimbursing you for the expense that you pay when you buy their products. Look at your Facebook Messenger spam, and I can almost guarantee you that you're going to have at least somebody in there who's going to try to get you to buy something off Amazon, and then they'll reimburse you for doing so in order to boost sales for their clients. Most, but not all, are going to require that you give a 5-star review first before they reimburse you. I recommend not working with sketchy Facebook bots, although I did work with one called Ibrojkokchar a couple of months ago, and I did get some free cool stuff. But they are unvetted and a little bit sketchy. Instead, I recommend joining a Discord group that focuses on this type of activity. There, the sellers are going to be vetted by mods to ensure that they're faithful to their end of the agreement, and it's also a lot easier to find the items that you want. By working with those folks on Discord, I was able to pull all that recon gear, a bunch of streamer equipment, and a whole bunch of other knickknacks. The problem from the freeloader perspective is that all this is very difficult to liquidate. The liquidation value of all this stuff goes to basically zero as soon as you buy it off Amazon. No one wants to buy secondhand binoculars, but I can guarantee you that I'm never going to buy iPhone chargers again without getting fully reimbursed. However, there are some items, usually pretty cheap items out there, where the seller will reimburse you more than the cost of the item, and I plan on getting in on some of this in the next video. Their goal is to get to the front pages, and they're willing to give you a little bit of additional money on top of your cost in order to make that happen. And like I said, sometimes you need to leave a 5-star review or they're not going to reimburse you. In almost every instance, the items are actually good, so I've had no problem giving people a 5-star review when they deserve it. For example, the microphone boom arm that I'm using right now is exactly what I needed, and I got fully reimbursed for it. And I also have the best flashlight I've ever seen in my entire life. But sometimes the item does suck, and I even had one company that wanted to ship me an empty box for me to give a 5-star review to, and they were going to reimburse me plus give me additional money if I kept my mouth shut about it. Now, I'm not going to do that because now I'm just deceiving other Amazon shoppers. I'm not going to give a good review for an item that is either garbage or is an empty box. I have sent items back before and the sellers aren't too happy with me, but that's their problem. I don't want to tell you the name of the Discord group I used because they don't want a whole bunch of YouTube migrants blowing up their spot. But we do discuss that server in hushed tones in our own freeloader challenge on our Discord. You can find the link in the description. The gain from all this is $0, but I got a whole slew of good items. One day I'm going to figure out how to make actual money from this. And finally, we have the old reliable focus groups bucket. Over the past few weeks, I got accepted into 3 focus groups. 2 of them paid me $200 Visa gift cards, and one of them paid me a $125 Amazon gift card, 2 of which I found via the website User Interviews, and the other one from a website called The Expert Cafe. One focus group was on gaming, so I had to play Age of Empires on Twitch for a little bit and then talk about my experience. By the way, I play games on Twitch sometimes. I don't have nearly enough followers, so if you guys want to follow, I'd appreciate it. I was never really sure what the focus group was trying to discover. The girl just diligently took notes while I talked about my experience. and for doing so, they paid me a $200 Visa gift card. The whole thing was done in an hour. Another was on social media shopping. I actually click on a lot of social media ads because I want to see if the good or service that they're advertising is suitable for the Freeloader Challenge. And for being a frequent clicker of ads, I got invited to a focus group that talks about what makes social media advertising appealing. We spent an hour talking about what makes a Facebook ad interesting, and I was paid another $200 in Visa gift cards. And the last was similar to the previous, a 1-hour interview discussing online shopping. I shared some feedback on an idea a company had about getting more people to buy local products. I basically told them if you want people to buy local products, make the price more competitive. I'm just keeping it real. I will buy the cheaper product. And for that absolutely groundbreaking feedback, I was paid $125 in Amazon gift cards. To liquidate these, the Visa cards are very easy. For the Visa cards, all you have to do is make a second PayPal account and then link these prepaid cards to it, and then send the money from those cards to your regular PayPal account. You lose 2.5% to PayPal fees. So by the time this was all done, I had $390 in cash. And this cash went straight into my sports betting accounts. For the Amazon cards, I turned it to my old associate, Joe Blackwood, who you guys may recognize from previous episodes. He pays me 95% of face value for Amazon cards, so $119. Reverend Blackwood makes it easy for me, but if you need to liquidate your own Amazon gift cards, I recommend the subreddit r Gift Card Exchange, or GTX. There you can swap your cards for cash. And of course on our Discord, you're going to find a whole bunch of experts on focus groups, including Big Papa Lasagna, who basically makes a living off of this, and he has a whole Google Drive on how to get started. I've also got my referral to user interviews in the description, and if you use it, you'll get a bonus after your first study is completed. So with all this money and stuff piled up, how do I reinvest it? How do I actually get myself closer to affording that ghetto-adjacent property in Baltimore? The crypto is going to stay where it is, for better or worse. But all this cash that I have is going to go straight back into my sports betting arbitrage accounts. With guaranteed money from arbitrage, I'm basically getting between 1.5% and 4% returns every time I place a wager. Now, like I described in my sports betting arbitrage video, I'm not saying you're going to get 4% of your whole bankroll every day that you wager. What you will get is between 1.5% and possibly up to 5% of what you wager for that particular day. It doesn't scale up infinitely, but you definitely can scale this to a decent extent. And in order to scale up my freeloading, I can't just do more and more and more focus groups. I need a scalable material, and that is sports betting arbitrage. Sports betting apps are basically my bank account until further notice. At present, for this whole challenge, that brings me to about $7,650, currently scattered across a bunch of bank accounts, crypto wallets, sports betting apps, and brokerages. At some point, I will need to consolidate all this money in order to make it easier to track. In any case, I'm very happy with the returns so far, and all this is getting me closer and closer to that crack house ownership. Even if I don't opt in for a crack shack, there are other, even slimier ways to reinvest freeloading gains. I may even consider tax liens, or if this recession gets bad enough, buying foreclosed crack houses. One way or another, the freeloading HQ will be established. Just might need a little power washing first. Thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to join Discord, and I will see you next time.